Hello, guys, and welcome back to another episode. Today we have Clint Wells, the host of Metal Up Your podcast. He has been on before. Clint is a gentleman. His knowledge is unbelievable. He's a touring musician. We chat about that. He tours with Morgan Wade. He's the band leader, producer. He does awesome work in the music industry. We talk about his podcast. We talk about life on the road, juggling family life, how hard it is to do everything as the years go on. We also touch on Load, one of Clint's favourite albums. We touch on track lists, song, production, the difference between the Black Album and Load. So sit tight, this is a great episode. There was some problems with lagging and stuff. Look, he's in Nashville, I'm in Ireland, shit's gonna happen. But stick with it, it's a great chat. Hope you enjoy it. And this shout out is for Robbie Levy, our Patreon. Shout out to Robbie for this one. If you want to be a Patreon and support the podcast, there's a link in the description. Here we go. Clint, how are you, my friend?
Doing good, doing good. Great to be back. Congrats on the success of the podcast. Nice to see you again. Last time I saw you, we were in a pub in Ireland.
No, I was getting flashbacks earlier. Of course, Clint, you are the host of the biggest and best Metallica podcast out there, Metal Up Your podcast. For anybody that wasn't sure, get out there and listen to it. But yes, Clint, we had a good time in Dublin.
From what I remember, it was a great time. By the time we were hanging out, it was after the gig at Wayland's, and we were having some pints. So
we had some tasty pints of mother's milk, as I like to call it, cream, a nice few pints of Guinness, and there was a couple of chasers there as well, from what I remember.
Yeah. And usually after a show when you're having a good time and you're hanging out with friends. First time I got to meet you guys in person. I mean, when I finish a show, I'm always just so relieved. Not because I don't like the show. I like playing the show. But it's like being done with a day's work. It's like most normal folks, when they come home from like a 9 to 5, they want to have a beer. That's what I'm like after a show.
Of course.
So, and then if we were in the same kind of pub that we played, so yeah, you've got fans that are buying shots, and we were buying drinks, and we were just having a great time in Dublin, man. What a place.
Yeah, it was a blast. It was a great show, a great show. Of course, you're in the band with Morgan Wade, flying, absolutely flying. Clint, you guys were just on the tour with Bush and Shine Down, played pretty much of all North America and Canada, right?
We did. Oh man, yes. Well, the Bush and Shinedown tour was all of America, pretty much. There's a few markets we didn't hit, and then right when that ended, I think I was home for 10 days, and then Morgan and I did. Basically, we started in Montreal, which is the northeastern major city in Canada, and we went all the way to Vancouver.
Wow.
So we did the whole country of Canada, and then and now I'm thankfully home, kind of home for the holidays. So yeah, it was a busy year of touring.
Yeah, you guys definitely were road dogging this year. How is it on the body?
Not great. The thing with the Shinedown and Bush tour was that every day we had this amazing catering. So
Oh, nice.
it's just hard not to eat like a demon out there. And then, you wake up and you're in the belly of an arena, and it's just hard to get, I guess it's not that hard if you're more motivated than me, but it's hard to get exercise, and it's hard to live a normal life for me the older I get. So
Yeah,
I'm definitely glad that I kept telling our tour manager when we were coming back from Canada, I was like, I can't wait to go home and heal. I was actually using the phrase heal
yeah,
because I felt like this year was so hard on my body and my psyche. Just missing my family, and getting older and wanting to enjoy my home, and see my friends that live at home, and
yeah.
watch basketball, and just live a normal life. So I think I've been home for a month now, and the healing is going well. And I'm not drinking for the rest of the year. I'm eating like this meal prep, low calorie diet shit. I'm losing weight. I feel like a human being again.
Yeah, funny you say that. I was just doing a video actually on an Irish band called The Scratch, and the guys were supporting the Dropkick Murphys, and I think they're hitting the road again with the Dropkick Murphys around North America. And I was talking to the bass player a couple of months ago, and it's similar to what you just said. It's like, well, they were living in the bus, the routine. You're waking up in a car park, you're jumping out, you're eating shit, you're not exercising. Like, it is tough. Like, I don't know, I'm not a musician, I've never done a tour, but I can only imagine that it is hard on the body and the mind. But I guess it's what you love, and you gotta do what you gotta do.
Well, at a certain point, you wake up and you're 42 and it's your job. So it's like, I don't, that's what I do. It's how I earn money. It's how I support my family. I do love music. I still love to make music, but I don't need to go to Boston again. I don't need to, all the things that I think people who don't make music imagine about it. Like, I don't know. People, my sister asked me the other day, she goes, well, do you still love it? And it's not that I don't love it. It's just that's just not even the right question. It's like I love to work and make money for my family, but things I love Metallica. I love my wife. I love to lay around and watch movies. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
I don't really love to go to work.
No,
I recognize that I have a cool job,
yeah.
but I like it's really fun to walk down the hallway every day and see Gavin Rosdale because we're working together all summer.
Mhm.
But it's just a job, it's just my job. So, the way that we hung out in Dublin, you know, drinking pints all night with friends, I would not normally do that at home. But
Mhm.
when you're on the road, you do that every day.
Yeah.
And that's no good. You can't live like that. That's no way
No,
to live. You
no,
know what I mean?
no. Even one night, I remember the next day. I remember saying to Luke, and Luke was like, "We can't go." I'm like, "I've work tomorrow." He's like, "No, dude. This is
I know.
this is great fun." I'm like, "Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. The hell with work." I'm like, "Let's just keep going." But no, it really was a great, and it was a great set. I really enjoyed. Like, I think we've talked about what we like and what we don't like. I have an insane taste in music. I will listen to Alanis Morissette, to Fleetwood Mac, to Slipknot, to Slayer, to Metallica, to everything. And Morgan Wade, I've been dipping my toes into that kind of scene. I think I spoke to you about Stephen Wilson Jr. I caught him
That's right.
since I was talking to you. I caught him in Belfast. It was up there as well, but Morgan's show was brilliant, and I liked the little different things that you guys had, especially in Whelan's, like when the trumpet came out.
Oh yeah.
It was like fucking brilliant. Like it's a nice touch and it's a memorable touch of the show. You're like, you remember that bit? I'm like, that was fucking cool. But it was a great, great, great time. I really enjoyed it. I know we spoke before about like producing music. You've produced the new album, right, with Morgan,
Yes. Yep.
and songwriting and stuff like that. Are you still dipping your toes in that with new material?
I'm not writing as much because I've been producing so much. It just eats up so much time, which has been nice. Kind of been nice to take a break from that.
Right.
I still have a publishing deal. I still write for a living. I still write, but I'm really discriminate with like my time and who I'm writing with. And in the early days of writing, when you're hustling, you'll just write with anyone. I was writing, 10 songs a week, sometimes two a day, trying to get my publishing deal, just trying to get on the scene. It's like a lot of things. Once you establish that
Mhm.
network, you can kind of relax a little bit and actually focus on the quality a little more. But producing Morgan stuff, producing this band called July Moon, just several different irons in the fire, producing on top of touring. So yeah, but still staying creative, still doing the podcast, the Metallica podcast, trying to, I was on tour with Shinedown. And then I have another podcast with my friend Bob Schneider called I'm Okay, You're Okay, I'm Not Okay, You're Not Okay. So, I mean, I'm probably like you and Luke, and I'm a classic kind of dumb dude. I like to work. I like to be busy making stuff. It's hard for me to sit around. I'll sit around at the end of the day when my family goes to bed
Yep.
around 9:30,
Yep.
and that's when I'll watch a horror movie or listen to records or play guitar, just play, Metallica riffs on my guitar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Other than that, I'm up at 7:30 and I'm making shit all day.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same, man. Yeah, like my kids, it's like I don't know what it's 8:30 over here PM right now, and my kids are just going to bed, and this is when I kind of jump on here and do a few
Yeah.
hits in our small little podcast here. But just I think it's also like you touched on psyche and stuff like that. For me, this podcast, we're a small fish, like, but what I'm trying to get at is it's like because I don't go to the pub and mingle with as many people anymore, and my job is quite isolated. I do a lot of driving. I find this fun. I find like, yes, it's a lot of work, and I'm trying to juggle family life like you and regular job and this and that. But speaking about music, like I'm trying to get at them hours that you spend to yourself, playing music, listening to music, watching a movie. It's very important. I feel, for ourselves. Like we need that little bit of selfness
Y-
of 1 or 2 hours a day.
I agree. I mean, it's a classic image, but yeah, you got to fill yourself up so you have shit to give.
Yeah.
Can't let the world take everything from you and deplete you all the time. So yeah, those hours, those kind of small hours, those quiet hours. I mean, just last night I watched Freddy's Dead, which is arguably one of the worst Freddy Nightmare on Elm Street sequels. But man, it just made me happy. It filled me up, charged me up.
Yeah.
Throwing on a Miles Davis record, or even just playing guitar for an hour. Yeah, that shit's important. And I think my family, they want me having that. They don't want me when I don't have that, because then I'm just a grumpy guy taking up room,
Yeah,
taking up
yeah.
oxygen.
Funny you're chatting about your horror movies. I listened to one of your latest podcasts on Metal Up Your Podcast, of course, the Halloween special. I had a good giggle listening to that. You guys talking about all your horror movies. It was a fun episode. um,
Yeah.
a lot of different stuff. Yeah, I've dipped my toes in the horror, but I definitely wouldn't be as I never kind of stayed with it. I kind of left it when I was like probably late teenagers and kind of never went back to it. But it's fun, no matter what your thing is. Like that, where you kind of, like you said, you watch that Freddy movie, like it mightn't be the best one, even if it's on and you're kind of half watching it. I think it's just that escape for that hour or two, from real life is sometimes good. But yeah, talking about your podcast, man, yeah, it's absolutely it's flying. I listen into every episode. It's amazing. So let's touch on a little bit of Metallica, if that's cool. So the guys just wrapped up Adelaide today. There was some disgruntled Australian fans, let's just say, about set lists and stuff like that. What did you hear anything from the grapevines, or what did you think of the set lists?
I didn't hear about Adelaide, but I talked about Perth on the last episode, which was, I guess, the first show.
Okay.
And, the first show is always a good indicator of what's probably going to happen. And yeah, I definitely saw a lot of people grumbling on the internet, which I guess that's just what people do on the internet
Yeah.
now. It's like the identity of the internet is a bitch and moan, and everyone thinks now that because they can share their deeper, most inner thoughts, that they should share their deeper, most innermost thoughts. And it's boring to me. I mean, you know, they haven't been to that part of the world in 10 years. For better or worse, they had to cancel a tour. James got sober. COVID happened to the world. They're not going to show up after 10 years and play, Phantom Lord. It's not going to happen. They're going to play their biggest songs. I think people should be grateful. I think it's they're worthy of criticism. I don't think that they're immune from criticism. But it's just like, what do you think they're going to do, dude? It's like you have to,
I know.
people have to manage their own expectations, which is part of being an adult. Part of being an adult is managing your expectations and not putting everything, all your little hopes and dreams on the world or on James Hetfield or Lars Ulrich.
I
Be
know.
grateful they're alive. Be grateful, Ace Frehley died, Diane Keaton died, Ozzy died. Everyone's dying. So be grateful they're alive. Be grateful that they're not, I can't name some bands that I'm thinking about, but be grateful they're not some band trotting out crap and slop, charging you premium ticket prices and then trotting out crap.
Yeah.
These boys are still rocking. They're still good. And to be fair, too, another aspect of the internet is 9 people will say they loved it, but the 10th guy
Yeah.
that's mad that they played only 15 songs, that's the guy that you tend to, it's just the psychology of us. Like, you hone in on that guy. That guy's voice is so loud, that goddamn pipsqueak. So yes, I did see this. This people are upset. I guess about the set list. Have you heard that there? What else is there to be upset about?
Yeah, like I kind of was chatting to one guy about Perth. I dropped it today myself, and he was kind of disgruntled a little bit about the set list, and like he mentioned some tracks, and I'm like, dude, it's just not going to happen. Like, I'm like, he's like, oh, I wish
Yeah,
it some more justice. I'm like, dude, if they, okay, I'll give them 1 point. Not having an instrumental, because me personally, I do like the instrumentals, and I guess they're limiting their time and they're managing their whatever. Like you said, be grateful, but like a little selfish bit of me would be like, I wish there was. I'd take a track out for an instrumental. I don't want an extra one. If that's all you can do, cool. But slip in an instrumental for me. But again, I
yeah.
I get it. I
Yeah,
get.
we could lose the Doodle and do Call of Cthulhu or Ryan, and
Yes.
they don't get there often. But at the same time, I mean, I've toured in Australia as well. You guys are far away, man. You guys are far away in a part of the world that's just not easy to get to.
No.
That's no one's fault. It's not their fault. But you love an American band. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that you love a band that's based out of America.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, that's the fucking that's it. Like in a nutshell, man. Be grateful that they travel. Like they didn't come to Ireland a whole lot. Like in my lifetime, my gig going years, they've been one, two, three, four, five times in like
yeah.
20 years. And I'm not pissing and moaning. I'm like, I'm happy they came. I'm not going to be like, oh my God, they didn't play Dyer's Eve. I'm like, it's just not going to fucking happen, you know? But
I mean, yeah, and maybe I don't love the band as much as some of these knuckleheads, and I say knuckleheads affectionately. I'm not really
yeah,
calling them names, but yeah, I just can't imagine getting mad at bands. I love bands as much as anybody. I'll take the Pepsi challenge. I've given my whole life to music. I really love it. I love the stuff. I'm not mad at any bands. I wasn't mad at Metallica when they made Saint Anger. I just quit listening for a minute. I'm not mad at Pearl Jam for losing their drummer. I'm not mad at any bands.
no.
And if your takeaway is to be mad that they didn't play another song off Justice, I do have to say, as just a friendly guy, maybe you need to reprioritize some things in your life.
Yeah, I
You know
hear.
what I mean? There's too much going on in the world. The world's scary. This music is so beautiful and awesome.
Hmm.
It's okay to have wanted things to be different, but reallocate some of that energy. That would be my unsolicited advice.
Yeah, I second that. I second that. Yeah, like we go to this stuff to escape the bloody real world. We don't want to go to this thing and then start another shitstorm online about nonsense, you know. But I will say, on another hand, another friend of mine who is a kind of a casual Metallica fan. First time he ever went to see them, he's an Irish guy. He's living in Perth, and he went and he was blown away. He was like, "I got everything I wanted to hear. I got all the hits. It was amazing. James Hetfield was right there in front of me." I'm like, "That's it, perfect. Like
Well,
that's
and
it."
that's it. You're right, and that's who they're playing to.
Yeah,
There's a larger percentage of that guy in the audience than there is of me and you and your buddy who came on to talk about Perth, who wanted to hear, Harvester of Sorrow or whatever he was talking about.
yeah,
That's the kind of guy that wants to hear Freight Ends of Sanity,
yeah.
a song they're just never gonna play.
No, no, no.
And I get it. We've dug deep. We're not the tire kickers. We want deeper things from our favorite band, but we represent. What do you think the percentage is of guys like me and you
Yeah,
at a stadium gig?
probably maybe 15, would it?
Yeah, 10, 15. So the boys are thinking about, and they're also victims of their own success. They've got too many huge good songs.
Yeah,
They got to play them. Because you're going to have one guy going, "Oh man, they didn't play Master of Puppets or Sabbath True or Inner Sandman or
yeah.
Fuel." So
I was
yeah, I
talking.
mean,
I was talking to Camilla there after the Adelaide show, and she said the energy, the vibe, everything about it was amazing. She said like the boys are on fire. Like they're
yeah, yeah.
really enjoying.
I see this all the time when I got into when I got back into Dave Matthews Band. I can't not talk about Dave Matthews Band,
I love
but that
David.
was a band that I loved as a kid. I went away from 2005 to 2018 ish. I wasn't aware of what they were doing for
Okay.
whatever reasons. For whatever reason, also in 2018, they put out a new album. It somehow got into my orbit and I loved it. And I thought, oh, look at all this. They're still great. I loved their new album. I had no context for what had been happening for the last 12 years. I just was listening to the new album at the gym, in my car, and I was like, I'm gonna get online and see what people are saying. Everyone hated it. Like all the Dave Matthews people hated it. They're all fucking doing what we do as Metallica fans. They're on forums and they're on Reddit and they're just picking it apart.
Mhm.
And I started to realize they were right about some of it. Like some of it, when I saw it through their critical eyes, they were right about. And I thought, oh no, I don't want to see this shit because before I
Ruined
started reading this stuff, I was having a good time.
Yeah, yeah, you fuckers are ruining it for
And
me.
and now it's not even that it's just negative. They're kind of right about some of it. Like oh, this is lazy because this is a song from 8 years ago that they just put a new vocal on. And then I'm listening, I'm like, oh, that is lazy. Oh, this old version is better. Like whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You can go see Metallica just because you've had your head in work or family, and then you go and you're like, oh my God, Kirk Hammett's amazing. And then you get online and some nerd is
Yeah.
like, well, he didn't really nail the solo here. And then you listen to it and you're like, oh yeah, he kind of didn't, did he? And
Don't
someone
need
goes,
that.
yeah, and someone goes, yeah, Lars, the double kick drum on one, it's sloppy Joe. And your memory at the gig is that it kicked ass. You just got to see them play one of the coolest songs ever.
Yeah.
Then you go read it, and some shithead online has clipped it, and they shove it in your face, and they highlight everything wrong with it, and you go, oh well, now I have a bad feeling about it.
Yeah.
People need to get offline, dude.
Yeah, yeah. Keep your fucking comments to yourself, man. I don't want to hear your shit, you know? I really don't. Like that. Like that's really pissy because like for you that enjoyed that album and
Everyone just calm down.
going back to Dave Matthews, what did you think of the is it the Grugrux King album? Is that the name of that one?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's called Big. It's called Big Whiskey and the
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Grugrux King, which
Yeah.
is a horrible title. They should have just called it Big Whiskey. That's a good title, but
Yeah.
that's the album that they put out right after their horn player died. And so when I got back into the band, that was like an album that was like another new Dave Matthews album because I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know any of the songs on it.
Yeah.
So I loved it. I mean, I love that album. There's a song on the first song on the album is called "Shake Me Like a Monkey," and it's a
Oh yeah.
very up tempo horn section song. And I remember after I got back into the band around 2019, 2020, before COVID, I think I was able to. I can't remember the timeline, but I was able to go to a show and they played that song. And I was in the crowd going, oh, they're playing Shake Me Like a Monkey. Well, it turns out Dave Matthews Band fans hate that song and they hate it when he plays it live. So there was just lines of people leaving to go get a beer or go to the bathroom. And I was like, what's going on? And someone who has never got off the Dave Matthews ride was like, oh, yeah, everyone hates Shake Me Like a Monkey. It's one of Dave's worst songs. We think he plays it just to troll us because he knows how much we hate it.
Hmm.
And I'm like, you think that Dave Matthews is playing songs at a concert to troll his diehard fan base?
Yeah.
Like that's how warped people have become and how entitled and selfish people and self-centered people are. Is you think he's playing a song to make you feel bad. He's just playing a song he wrote
The
that, by the
mentality
way,
that is scary.
is cool.
It is a
I
cool
don't
song.
know.
Yeah, but the mentality of somebody at a show to think that and process that and to bring that in the oh Jesus Christ, that's crazy. It's so crazy.
Another thing that I saw about the Australian shows, I don't know if you heard this from your buddy, is well, and this has been happening ever since the Hardwire tour, is people because I talk on my podcast, I often talk to people who go to shows, and the people were saying that like, oh, there wasn't a lot of energy. A lot of people were sitting,
Mm.
not a lot of people headbanging, not a lot of mosh pits. Have you heard that criticism as well?
I did hear a little bit that the guy that he was sitting and I asked him what was the energy like and he said it was a mixed bag. But I'm like, look at I'm nearly 40 and the band were out 20 years before I kind of got going. I'm like there's a mad range of age profiles at these shows. I was at Turnstile. I don't know if you're familiar with Turnstile, the band from Baltimore.
Yeah,
They
love
played
them.
oh fucking amazing, man. I seen them Saturday night in Dublin. I can't walk right. Like I'm broken. So like if you
Yeah.
want like a lot of these, I'm not gonna say a lot, but a large percentage of these Australian fans are on the I disappear. I could not do what I did Saturday night, 6 times in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Like it's just not gonna happen. If you want to sit and breathe it all in and stand and just engulf yourself in it, that's good. If you want to jump around like a lunatic, that's fine. But like don't piss on people that are just enjoying the show. I don't get it.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're old, Metallica's fan base has gotten older, and Turnstile, I hate to put it in simple terms, but Turnstile is a young band for young people.
Yeah.
And now the music is so good that, I'm 42. When I heard Turnstile, I was like, oh, wow. It like made me believe in music again. It was like so good.
Yeah.
But also, I watched them, and I also am like, this is music for young people. There's
Yeah.
people freaking out and they're crowd surfing, and the guys, everyone in the band except for the girl, they're all shirtless, of course, because they're young and thin and beautiful.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's letting the crowd sing. He's just haphazardly jumping into the crowd. Great. That's not what Metallica is.
No,
I
no.
know that they are playing thrash metal, but they're in their mid 60s,
Yes, yes, yes. But like
you
that
know.
that's my point. Like
A
don't
lot of my life philosophy, a lot of my life philosophy, Gavin, I was just telling someone today, like, and you're a dad, so you understand. It's like we have to grow up. You have to. I'm talking spiritually here. You have to grow up in the world, and your family helps you do it. Your children help you do it. Age will help you do it, but we have to grow up as a fan base, as a society. The music can keep you young. You can remember all the good times, but I was in the Snake Pit on the 72 Seasons tour somewhere, I think in St. Louis, and the whole concert, I could feel the energy. There was this group of old dudes. They were older than me in their 50s, who were sort of bemoaning the lack of energy in the Snake Pit, which, all right, fair enough. They're kind of like trying to cajole, get people ramped up. During the last song, Enter Sandman, with their last chance, they actually formed a little circle pit, a little old man circle pit.
Yeah.
And you know what it looked like, dude? It looked fucking lame
Yeah.
and stupid. And it was like, dude, to be so contrived. There's supposed to be these primal natural reactions to the music. Second of all, you're going to have a heart attack. Like, dude, you are not healthy enough to do a circle pit. I hate to say it, but this has now become dangerous for you because we're Americans, okay? You know how we like to live over here. We like to eat, we like to drink. We're not in shape.
No.
And it's like, dude, and they're like bumping into people that didn't want to be a part of it. It's just like, dude, we're not kids anymore.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Unfortunately, we get old, we get
And,
rusty.
and that's okay. That's okay. We're in a cool season of life. We've grown up.
Yeah, yeah. And funny in the snake pit, right? Like they actually don't really want you moshing and pushing around, especially in the donut snake pit. They're like just chill out and fucking enjoy the show kind of thing.
I haven't seen much of it because people just don't do it that much anymore. A
Yeah,
lot of people are looking at, they're recording it on their phones. A
yeah,
lot of people are a little older like me. And a lot of people are just trying to soak it in. So I haven't noticed it being regulated or anything.
yeah.
Um,
I think it's
I
like
don't,
frowned upon. Um,
yeah, because no one wants to deal with that. I mean, no one wants to mosh anymore. It's just not part of the fabric of, I mean,
so
I'm not telling you to
if
tell
you if you want to take it,
anyone what
dude,
to do,
Christ.
but sort of me standing there with my arms folded. Well, me standing there just being 42, it doesn't bother anybody. Someone else moshing affects me. You know what I mean? You're bumping into me.
Yeah,
So I get it. There's two different philosophies, but one philosophy is overbearing on other people in a society, while the other one is fairly harmless. I'm not. All I'm really doing to you is bumming you out, I guess, by
yeah.
not subscribing to your idea that we should be, you know, I don't have many more brain cells to lose, dude. I need all of my brain cells.
I
I
hear.
can't headbang. It'll hurt my neck.
Oh, dude, like I was kind. No, I wasn't that bad Saturday night, but I got the rail for Turnstile, and the reason that I wanted to get the rail was because I wanted to stay away from the madness. And like I have some funny videos. Like I'm on the rail, but like I'm looking behind me taking videos. I'm like, damn, I have no business in there whatsoever. Like that's 20 years ago. But I'm happy here. I'm in the corner. I'm just vibing off the band. I'm like, I'm really enjoying this shit. But yeah, same with Metallica. I don't want to go in moshing and I'm not able to, But I guess there is younger kids that want to do that, and that's fine. If that's your thing, go for it. But don't expect me to. Let me enjoy it. If I'm standing still enjoying the show, don't go home and be like, there was some old Irish prick just standing there watching the show. We didn't even get involved. I'm like, yeah, leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, but what's interesting is you won't see young fans of the band complain about that. It's the old heads who everyone loves things for different reasons, but there's a group of people, and part of their love for the band is all about nostalgia, and it's all about the past, and it's all all about what they meant to you when you were young and vibrant and all that shit. You saw them in the 80s or the early 90s, and you were 18 and you were with your best friend Billy, and you guys jumped around like you huffed fucking paint, and you did whatever you did, and then you jumped around like idiots. And that's what it is to you. So when you go and you look around and everyone's in their 40s and 50s and 60s, and we're all just trying to kind of enjoy it while being comfortable,
Yeah.
it triggers something in them. It doesn't confirm for them what that piece of the love for the band is. And
Yeah.
because they aren't grown-ups in their minds, they don't understand that relationship. And so then they get online and they go, "Well, the crowd was lame. No one was headbanging." You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like they just misunderstand the dynamic. And the internet is the poison that just makes everyone feel like all of their feelings are so important. Whereas before that, you would feel those feelings and then you would just internalize them and you would go, "Oh, I guess we're all old now. I guess the world's moved on." Or I
Yeah.
guess my expectations really more rooted in what this band used to mean to me. They remind me of when I was a kid and I'm not a kid anymore.
Yeah.
Like to see a band like Metallica now is complicated. It because you go, "I've loved this band my whole life." And you're looking at James Hetfield or whomever is your favorite member of the band, and you're like, "Wow, he looks old," which is a weird feeling because
Mm.
he didn't always look old. Because I've loved him since I was 11, and then you have to think about yourself and your own mortality. You have to look in a mirror and you go, "Well, I'm old. If he's old, I'm old." And then you have to look at Lars not playing the drums as well as he did when he was 22, and you go, "Oh, he's not playing them as well." Seeing a band like Metallica is complicated in those ways, whereas seeing a band like Turnstile, everything's ahead of them. They
Yeah.
haven't even made their best record yet.
No.
They're like on fire. They're on the rocket ship.
Yeah.
They've made music that's just connecting with the world, connecting with young people particularly.
Hmm.
There's just something impassioned about them where you're like, it's almost undeniable.
Mm.
That's not complicated. That's actually pretty simple. You go see Turnstile, you watch that pure, unadulterated energy, and you're just enjoying being hit by the wave.
Yeah.
But you go see The Cure or Metallica or Bob Dylan or U2 or the Rolling Stones, who I saw a few years ago in Hyde Park. You're enjoying them playing the songs you like, but there's something else going on at that show. Everyone in the crowd's older. You're old. You know what I'm saying? You're dealing almost existentially with something in
Yeah.
addition to just being entertained by music.
I definitely had a similar experience at Iron Maiden in Belfast a couple of years ago, where I was in my mid 30s, I guess, and I wasn't one of them guys like, oh, nobody's enjoying themselves. But I kind of had a look around. I'm like, yeah, you look at Bruce Dickinson, you look at the guys, and you're like, they've done a lot of fucking miles here, And I kind of
Yeah.
took a look around. I'm um, like that, like maybe it was Hallowed Be the Name or one of the big hits, Run to the Hills or whatever, and everybody was kind of just standing and fucking enjoying it. And I was like, okay, I don't have to break myself that I don't have to walk. I can't go to fucking work tomorrow or walk tomorrow. I can, I mean, you can sit, enjoy it, and not feel intimidated. Like there's thousands of people here just doing that. It's okay. It's okay if that's your thing. Fucking fine. You know. Um, but sometimes then I do also think does the band vibe off that energy sometimes? Like when you're on stage, if you see someone really interacting, does that give you an extra kick up the ass? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't make heavy metal music. I think that's another thing to consider is like, Bob Dylan goes and plays a theater somewhere.
Hmm.
He's not looking for people to go ape shit. I mean, playing Wayland's is fun because in Dublin where you came and saw the show because it was just jam packed.
Hmm.
There's so much energy in that room because everyone's right up on you. But on that same tour that you saw me on, many of the shows we played were in, kind of theaters that were like the sound's very pristine and clean. And, our music is kind of singer-songwriter Americana shit. So people are really listening for the lyrics. So I mean, yeah, you definitely are noticing if the crowd seems muted or bored or, I've had friends of mine. I don't feel this way because I'm in my midlife, but I have had some friends of mine that are in older, more established, like legacy type bands, um, who are like, it is weird to look out in the crowd and see old people,
Mm.
like they're used to, when the Rolling Stones are used to looking out and seeing beautiful women,
Yeah.
right? Just to put it in crude terms, like they're used to looking out and seeing beautiful people, beautiful young people. Now they're looking out and seeing people that are their age, that are grandparents.
Yeah,
And I think that they'd be lying if they didn't say that it's it's different. It's at least different
yeah,
to look out and see a grandmother than like a hot 20 something.
yeah,
Uh, and I think also when you've been in a band as long as a band like Metallica for 45 years, the world has changed so much and changed so many times.
yeah,
So now, one of the positives I know that James feels this way because he's talked about it is, he looks out and instead of, he's not 32 anymore. So he's not looking for the hot chick that he might get to talk to after the gig.
yeah,
He's looking out and he's seeing a dad with his son and then
yeah,
maybe even his son's son.
yeah.
So he's seeing three generations of fans.
100%, and you can see that he
And that,
vibes off that. He pulls
yeah,
power from that. You can see it. Like you can see him fist pumping the kids. One kid I had a chat with
yeah,
recently, Russell Watson. He just got signed by Gibson. He's an amazing kid. Like he got to go on stage. Lars actually pulled him up on stage. Like he was in the pit, and it was like a freak moment. But it was just there was an energy. You could see it in the video where Lars like just lets him sit on the floor, Tom, and then James comes over and gives him like one of his sweatbands. And as much as I just said, where you vibe off the crowd in a fucking circle pit, kicking the shit out of each other, I think James got and Lars got as much energy out of seeing that kid's emotions of the music, sitting just watching them. Same thing, but different energy, if that makes sense.
yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel that way at our shows. Like we often have kids at our shows and they'll have a sign that'll be like, "This is my first concert," because their parents are fans. They bring their kids. As a dad, I like that. I'm in a stage of life where, yeah, I'm not looking for any kind of real action after a show except for having some beers with some friends.
Yeah,
So I love when kids are in the crowd, you know.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, a muted crowd, I got to imagine when you're playing in a stadium and you look around, a lot of people are sitting down. But I'm sure the money doesn't hurt, and you're thinking about, well,
yeah.
they're here. We sold a lot of tickets
Yeah.
and we're old and the world's different. The world's changed.
No, they're still definitely making people very fucking happy, and I'm sure they're making 95.5% of Australians very, very happy right now. So let's move on to, if it's cool, one of your favorite albums, Load. I did see your
Absolutely.
video. You got the box set. Unfortunately, I didn't get it. Money was just too tight at the time, but maybe down the line I might get something else. You did go through it more recently, I think, on one of your episodes. How excited were you when that came to your door?
Yeah, I mean, once they started putting these box sets out, I can't remember the Kill 'Em All box set. I can't remember when it came out. You know when that came out?
I don't. I
I
don't.
think it was after we started our Metallica podcast um, in 2017, and I
Okay.
don't think any of the box sets had come out. But as soon as we realized that they were going to be doing this for every album, which was pretty early on, I could not wait to get my hands on the Load and the Reload one. So that time is finally here. We're finally doing it. Yeah, those would represent my favorite era of the band. And you know, it's almost overwhelming. There's a lot of stuff in there. I've been doing some of the stuff piece by piece. It came out this summer right before I went on tour. So then I went on tour for like 7 weeks with Shinedown. So I didn't have as much time. But now that I'm home, yeah, I've been I did an episode on the house that Jack built that came
Yeah.
out this week. I did the Polar Ice Party, this really strange gig they did up in the North Pole. I did a full episode on the book that it comes with this, 120 page
Yeah. What is it
deep
like?
dive book.
What is the book like?
The book,
Hmm.
the book is a very well put together hardcover. It's like a coffee table book, that's filled with really great pictures, a lot of behind the scenes stuff, like a lot of studio notes and pictures of how they mic'd up their amps. And then it's got these little essays with, Bob Rock, the road crew, the dude who put the box set together. Jason Newsted has a full essay. Kirk has an essay of just people. They're just talking about their memories from that time and what it was like and or what they can remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
You're in the thick of it then. Did it?
Absolutely. I mean, especially the band guys were having a pretty good time at that point. But yeah, hearing from the techs and especially the Bob Rock essay is great. The Jason Newsted essay is great. You could spend several hours just looking at the details and the pictures from the studio. So if you really love these records, it really is kind of a bit of a treasure trove of content. And then there's also a compendium website. Have you looked at the what are they calling it? The
Oh,
black box on the website?
yeah, yeah. I didn't get in there yet, but
So
yeah,
if you're a member of the fan club, which is called the Fifth Member, I'm
yeah.
sure many of your listeners will know this, which
Mhm.
is free, you can access this part of their website called the Black Box. And so, since the load box that came out, there's even more stuff that they couldn't put in the box, right? Because they're trying to figure out what to cram in there and what they can and can't put. So this is like all the leftovers. So I'm such a nerd and a geek for this era that I'm on that website sucking up all those little goodies. Um, and if you do a Metallica podcast, it really is great because it's just unlimited, heaps of information to dig through. The only problem is not everybody loves these albums, so I'm
Yeah.
sure there's a subset of my listeners that are not a big fan of Load and Reload and are ready for me to move on. But
No, no, stick
for the
with it.
foreseeable future, I think I'm going to be camped out here for a minute. Yeah.
I was going to ask you there, you that has produced music and that, where would you, which album do you think, maybe this is a difficult question, production wise, the Black Album or the Load album?
Well, the Black Album, well, it's a good question. The Black Album is one of the best sounding hard rock, metal, whatever you want to call it, albums ever. I mean, it's up there with, the AC/DC, Highway to Hell, and Back in Black. Just from a purely technical standpoint, but it's the same. I use this word lightly. It has the same indie stuff where it's then like a thickener up the middle, and it's very precise sounding.
Yeah.
And then of course Kirk does the solos, and then there's a few overdubs. There's some texture. My friend in Missouri has this great B bender part on For Nothing Else Matters, etc. But for the most part, when you think about Holier Than Thou and Through the Never, Struggle Within, Wherever I May Roam, Sabbath True,
Oh, the
it's just
drum.
a very well put together onslaught of, yeah, right.
I love that bit.
The thing about Load and Reload is they completely reinvented their approach. So you've got Kirk and James playing guitar, and they're both playing different things, and that's one of my favorite things in music. You've got the Mick and the Keith, not Mick and Keith. You've got Keith and Ron Wood, interplaying. One of my favorite bands ever is Pearl Jam, and the way that Mike McCready and Stone Gossard play guitar together, they talk to each other, and the way that they're layered,
Yeah.
and they were a lot more experimental with their overdubs, not only on guitar, but Bleeding Me's got congas on it. There's a keys pad, and there's a pedal steel sounding guitar on Mama Said, and so I think that pound for pound, probably when it comes to like song selection, impact, cultural viability, the Black Album is kind of these Bob Rock era.
Hmm.
But I think the more interesting records are Load and Reload. I think there's more repeatability in listening for me, and I find them sonically more interesting. But they're not the better records. That's what I would say about that.
Okay, okay, interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah, I recently rewatched that year and a half of Metallica, and where you kind of get to see some of that stuff of production and that, and Kirk doing the solos, of course, is fucking amazing. But let's stick on Load. Yeah, like, oh, what did you think of the get the load out, the thing that Metallica done and getting fans involved, making little videos and stuff like that? I did see a friend of both of ours, I think Dave Ferraro, he done a couple of videos, and I know they're very good. I really enjoyed them. What did you think of that? A very clever marketing tool, I guess, by Metallica yet again.
Yeah, it's cool. I haven't seen much of it, but yeah, I've seen like they launched also the XM radio station,
Of course.
and then they're doing a thing where they're letting fans curate like sections of the radio station. So I'll see the like the schedule for that, and I'll be like, oh, I know five of these people. Yeah, I think it's fun. I've done a couple of Metallica covers through the podcast that a
Yeah,
few
yeah,
listeners were like, "You should submit these," but I think it's cool. I think getting the fans involved. Yeah, Dave Ferraro is a friend of mine. He's got one of the I think he's got the white Iron Cross
yeah. He
Les
does.
Paul,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's a big fan of all the guitar playing. I actually don't I don't know how to play that many Metallica songs. I know a few riffs. Um, but yeah, their marketing is amazing. They never cease to amaze me. Whether it's really the amazing thing that they did over the last few years was get Master of Puppets on Stranger Things. That whole thing was so huge for them.
Yeah, yeah. That really
I think the
brought in
song even like recharted.
yeah, it did. Yeah, after Stranger Things, I think it did, and it brought in I guess, another fan base. A younger fan base yet again, dipping their toes into Metallica. Um, but looking at the shows as well, like I've only been to Madrid. I was a guest on your podcast. I am going to be. We'll go back to Load. Sorry, I'm just going off on a tangent here. I am doing the I Disappear
Yeah, all good.
for Europe next year. Really looking forward to that. I hope to hit up Athens and Budapest, Frankfurt, Dublin, London. Are you going, Danny, next year, or is that too far away with your schedule?
Wow, amazing.
Hmm.
It's too far away, and usually anything out of America is pretty hard for me to get to. But you never know.
You
You
never
never
know.
know.
You could be over here or something gigging. So right, let's go back
I
to
could
load.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go back to load. So standout tracks. I recently spoke before you answer about load for me. I kind of when I found load, I was like, okay, I was kind of in the middle of my finding justice and finding riding, and I was kind of young whippersnapper looking for fast intensity. Now I did like it initially. I did, I will admit, but I kind of moved on. But I've gone back in the last 10 years. Maybe that's with age, but I fucking love it. Now, for me, I do think there's a couple of filler tracks for me, but there's some absolutely killer tracks. I love the kind of bluesy feel to this album too. It's cool. Like 2x4 is fucking phenomenal for me.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the next episode I do is like a deep dive on 2x4 because the cool thing about the box set, I'm sure your listeners know, but they kind of show you how the song gets developed.
Yeah.
There's from a riff tape to a vocal idea, and then to a demo, and then to an alternate take or an alternate mix. And that's one of the ones that when they were touring around this time, they did the Escape from the Studio. They went and did Donington and a few shows. 2x4 is one of the only ones that they played, that they, I guess, felt comfortable enough to play live even before Fuel.
Wow.
They were playing 2x4 and Devil's Dance, which is strange because that's on the next album. But yeah, I love 2x4. Yeah, I mean, there's even the songs, even the House that Jack Built, which I just featured on this episode. There are things about it. If I was producing the record, not that I'm Bob Rock or as talented as Bob Rock, or that I know better than Metallica, just personally speaking, there's no need for that song to be 7.5 minutes long. So there's a
Yes.
few things that I would have done. There's no need for Ronnie to be 6 minutes long. Um, yeah, there's a few songs on there, Cure, Poor Twisted Me,
Yeah.
that aren't going to make my top 10 of the 90s. But when I'm in the mood for that record, because I want to hear several of the songs are transcendent for me. Outlaw Torn, Bleeding
Oh,
Me.
what a way to finish.
Uh, but those are songs that I can listen to anytime. Those represent some of the best of their entire catalog.
Mhm.
But if I'm not, I'll listen to those whether or not I'm in the mood for Load. You know what I mean? Those are just some great Metallica songs. But
Yeah.
if I'm in the mood for Load, the deeper cut songs, Thorn Within, Cure, already mentioned, those songs are nice, and Load is more stacked with the King Nothing until it sort of bangers that make sense apart from just the milieu of the record.
Yeah.
Whereas Reload, you got Fuel and Memory Remains and Unforgiven 2, but that's about it. And really only the two hits.
Except
But I don't even think I've mentioned Hero of the Day. Hero of the Day is another great one on Load.
yeah, until it sleeps as well to unload. I think
Yep,
you're a big
absolutely.
fan of that one, right?
Of Until It Sleeps?
Yeah. Does
Oh
that?
yeah, huge. I mean, that was the first thing that we ever saw from what would become the Load era is, they put that single out with the very, intense, beautiful video. That was also very strange. The boys had, everything that we've come to associate about that era. The guy liner, the boys had short hair.
Yeah.
The song it wasn't Inner Sandman Part 2. It was this sort of creepy, clean thing. Um, a great first single. I think it's a great first single for the era because there's something about Until It Sleeps that really captures kind of the essence of those albums.
Yeah, and
And then one I still haven't seen live yet.
oh wow, okay. I think the song video really captures it too. That rocking motion. It almost is like an eerie kind of bedtime melody or I don't know what it's spooky like. But I think what James especially was like, I guess the Black Album was a big, change obviously, and from the Black Album to Load for me is a massive change again, of course. But I guess when you look at his songwriting as well, he really did open that door into his emotions much more on this than anything else. And like, I don't know, like, I'm not a musician, I'm not a songwriter, but like, look, we all have shit inside, but like, for him to put that on the paper and put the world to read it and hear it, like, it was brave too, right?
Yeah, and well, he came from first of all, he was a very sheltered, shy
Hmm.
guy who did not have a good home life.
No.
So you've got all this stuff. He also came from, the thrash culture, which was feelings are probably considered lame.
Yeah.
No one needs to talk about their feelings. We're going to sing about metal being front facing is like, a tough guy.
Yeah.
We're going to kick some ass. We're going to wear some leather. We're going to jump in the fire. We're going to have no remorse. We're going to bow down to our Phantom Lord. And then I think that his idea of maturing as a songwriter, moving into Lightning, was we're going to have songs about nuclear holocaust, about the death penalty,
Yeah.
cryogenic freezing. Then you get into puppets. All right, we're going to write a song about war. I mean, I will say Fade to Black, he did in
Yes.
'84 start, he wrote a song about his feelings, but also was criticized for it. And then puppets, yes. And then Justice is all about the greed of, it's political.
Hmm.
And I think that they achieved everything that they wanted to do, but he's just a guy in his 20s trying to be a tough guy. And Justice is they were like, how long can and progressive can the songs be? How
Hmm.
metal can we be? I think the Black Album was all right, we have all of our credibility, but now we want to rule the world. We want to be the biggest band in the world. What does that look like? Boom, that's the Black Album.
Yeah,
It
there was.
was the marriage of all of their 80s power with the peak of their commercial songwriting. Sad but true, Inner Sandman, Wherever I May Roam, The Unforgiven, Nothing Else Matters.
Yeah.
Not to mention how good of Wolf and Man is, and Holier Than Thou, and Through the Never, the deep cuts.
Yeah.
So after that, you got a guy that's in his 30s, and he's no longer a 25-year-old kid that's afraid of not looking tough.
Yeah.
So whatever that is, an early marriage, a relationship, and he dipped his toe in the water with Nothing Else Matters. I'm not going to be the tough guy for a second. And I think you saw that, dude, Nothing Else Matters is arguably their second biggest song after Inner Sandman. So not only was it,
It was brilliant.
successful commercially, but it was successful artistically.
Yeah, I think recently
So
did
then,
Elton John came out and
go ahead.
it was the best song ever
Yeah,
written. Like that says it all.
yeah. And when he said that, James Hetfield cried. I
Yeah,
mean, because he was just given one of the biggest compliments by one of the greatest songwriters to ever roam the earth.
100%.
Um, it was just a huge validation for James Hetfield because people who in the heavy community don't really get a lot of credit as being great melody writers. You know, like even Black Sabbath and Iron Maiden, who just are fantastic melody writers, they don't get the credit for it.
Hmm.
So to have Elton John, who people generally agree, if you don't, you're
Yeah.
musically retarded, if I may be so bold to use that word, is a melodic genius.
Yes.
And so you move into the '90s, and James Hetfield's like he's feeling feelings. He's in his 30s. He's a lot more secure, a lot more confident. He's already done all the '80s credibility, and then they also ruled the world with the '90s commercial credibility.
Yeah.
So the Load era was like, yeah, his time to start talking about his parents, talk about his alcoholism,
Yeah.
start talking about, yeah, to look inward.
Yeah, yeah. Like,
And Gavin, I don't think he ever went back from that. For whatever reason, like there's flashes here and there. The song Hell and Back comes to mind, but Death Magnetic's not a personal album, except for Unforgiven 3, maybe the song Hell and Back. Hardwired, not a personal album, except for maybe Halo on Fire. 72 Seasons is kind
Mhm.
of personal because it's
Yeah.
about growing up, I guess, but I don't think you can point to anything after Reload that has that same
No.
inward thing that Fixer has or that Outlaw Torn and Bleeding Me have.
Yeah, very, very, very true. I do think Inamorata is quite personal. I don't know why.
Yes.
Yeah, like that one.
No, no, you're right. That's exactly right.
Yeah. I do agree. Like that Magnetic was just like, okay, shit, we kind of fucked up with this other one. We need to get the fans back on side, and like this fast, heavy trashing fucking assault on the ears. Like it was just unbelievable. I do enjoy that album. On headphones, it's a struggle after a while, as we all know, with the production and stuff like that. But it was Rick Rubin done that one, wasn't it? Yeah, Rick Rubin done that, and
Rick Rubin. But it really seems like Greg Fidelman. It really seems to me like that was self-produced with Greg Fidelman engineering. I don't think Rick had that much to do with it, other than sort of inspiring them to go back to their roots. But you actually mentioned Death Magnetic needing to basically be a return to form. I will say Saint Anger is a very personal album, but I believe that Saint Anger is marred by the freshness of James being out struggles with his demons. But I think that the democratic way that they wrote the lyrics, you got Kirk writing lyrics, you even got Phil Tal suggesting lyrics.
yes, yes,
I think that all of that made, although those songs are personal, they're just not, they don't represent really anywhere close to his best poetry about his feelings. They feel kind of pushed through this AA, Alcoholics Anonymous rehab filter. And then, of course, you got lyrics from the other band members. So
yeah,
Saint Anger is a personal album. I just don't think it rises to the heights of the Load and Reload stuff.
yeah. I said this recently. I have a love hate relationship with Saint Anger. There's times where I'm like, okay, I'll stick it on. I love Some Kind of Monster. I love Saint Anger. I can kind of go and it's okay. Dirty Window I really like. Invisible Kid I really like. But then there is some others that I'm like, this is lazy. And the no solos thing, I'm like, really, But again, who the fuck am I to pick and poke at fucking Metallica's work? I'm just a fan. It's only my opinion. I wouldn't be like one of these guys that go online and there's so many sheep in the world, Clint, like follow like, oh, I heard fucking Clint say something about something. I'm going to just repeat what he says. Like, I feel like some people, or not just whatever you read online, be yourself. Make up your own opinions. Don't follow the crowd. I feel like we touched on the internet earlier. There's a lot of that too, and that pisses me off.
Yeah, for sure. And you can also change your mind, like you can also have real feelings that are negative about the album because it was disappointing in one way or another, sonically or lyrically
Hmm.
or whatever it is. And then you can live 10 years of life and revisit it and be like, oh, I kind of get it now. Open to St. Anger as I've ever been in my life. In 2002 or 3 or whenever it came out when I was 20 years old, I hated it. And I will say this too. I need to send this to you if I haven't already, Gavin. But
Oh,
I went through and edited Saint Anger, the whole album.
I did
I
hear you.
chopped it up. In my estimation, I cleaned it all up, and I made it kind of more listenable for me. So I'll send it to you if you want to hear it.
Yeah, please do. I did hear you speaking about that on your podcast, and I'm like, oh, I'd love to hear that. I really would. Like I think I even have it on vinyl. The what is it? The Justice for Jason, whatever that thing was for, they put the bass on it or whatever. They reduped it or whatever. It's not the same, but I would love to hear that one. Please, please send that on to me. Um, so
Yeah.
What is next for yourself? Anything lined up for the rest of the year? You're back on tour then with Morgan?
Yeah, we're doing like a little holiday tour in mid-December. We're doing 6 shows on the East Coast of America where we're gonna do kind of evening with, where the first set is going to be all Christmas songs, and we're
Oh,
going to wear little Christmas sweaters and do like an acoustic type thing, and then we're going to come and do a full band set.
nice.
That's that. Um, and then we don't have any touring plans until I think February.
Right.
So my plan is to heal, hibernate, lie low, hang out with my friends like you, uh, eat well, do no drinking,
Enjoy life.
watch a bunch of movies, and enjoy my life. I'm excited. I someone wrote to me this morning, some sweet Metal Up Your Podcast fan who heard my newest episode, which just came out, and she was like, "Hey, I'm just checking on you. You sound really bummed." I did this whole spiel on AI, and then I did this whole spiel on Dave Mustaine because Dave Mustaine is
Oh,
decided to
we're live today.
cover Ride the Light. And really bummed and like depressed, and you're really enjoying my life right now. I'm having a great time. So it's interesting. It's interesting juxtaposition.
Yeah, yeah, I did read about that. He just played Dublin too. Megadeth and Disturbed just played Dublin like 2 weeks ago. I heard Megadeth were brilliant. But yeah, the Ride the Lightning thing is going to be interesting. One of the last things I'll say to you is not shitting on Megadeth, but the new track, the video, nothing on the song. The video to me looked like a Timu Saint Anger video. Not sure if you've seen it.
What's the What's the name of the song?
The newest single from Megadeth, Tipping Point.
Tipping Point.
Yeah, you got to check it out, man. Speak
I'm
about
just gonna look at it real quick. I'm not gonna play it. My Dave Mustaine rant on this week's episode.
Oh, I look forward to listening to that, man. But yeah, check out that video and let me know what you think of the Timu Saint Anger video of Megadeth. um, Clint, it's been a blast talking to you. I know you're busy there. You got shit to do. Keep in touch. Everybody go and check out Metal Up Your Podcast, the best Metallica podcast out there. Clint is an absolutely brilliant host. Go and subscribe and follow his channel. And yeah, maybe down the line, Clint, we might see you in Europe. We'll catch up with a few more Guinnesses and a few Jamesons.
Yeah, I hope so, dude. Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure to chat with you.
Thanks, Clint. Thank you.